Hey warriors, when life becomes loud, confusing, and relentless, the mind is usually the first casualty. Thoughts race, emotions clash, clarity disappears. And most people try to fix the chaos by controlling the world around them. But the Stoics knew a deeper truth. Chaos outside is inevitable. Chaos inside is optional. More than 2,000 years ago, Stoic philosophers faced plagues, wars, exile, betrayal, and death daily. Yet they spoke of calm, clarity, and inner freedom, as if nothing could touch them. Not because life was easier then, but because their minds were disciplined. When everything around you collapses, your mind must become your refuge. These are not motivational quotes. These are laws. Laws that have carried emperors through crisis, slaves through suffering, and ordinary people through extraordinary storms. Apply them, and chaos loses its grip. Before we begin, pause for a moment, take a deep breath, hit the like button, share this with someone drowning in stress. Subscribe because clarity is contagious. And if you're ready to reclaim your calm, comment below, I choose clarity. Law 1. Separate what you control from what you don't. Epictetus opened Stoic philosophies with one brutal truth. Some things are up to us, most things are not. Chaos begins the moment you try to control what was never yours to command. Other people's actions, outcomes, timing, the past, the future. When you grab for these, your mind fractures under the weight. The Stoic response is surgical. You draw a line. On one side is what you control, your thoughts, judgments, actions, effort. On the other side is everything else. And you let the second side go completely. When life feels chaotic, ask one question. What is in my control right now? Not tomorrow, not next year, right now. Then act only there. The moment you stop wrestling the uncontrollable, your mind clears. Not because problems vanish, but because you stop feeding them your attention. Comment if this hits. I focus only on what I control. Law 2. Remove meaning before emotion. Marcus Aurelius wrote that events themselves do not disturb us. Our interpretation of them does. Chaos feels overwhelming because we attach catastrophic meaning to neutral facts. A job loss becomes, I am a failure. A rejection becomes, I am unworthy. A delay becomes, everything is ruined. The Stoic law is simple but ruthless. Remove the story. Keep the fact. The fact is information. The story is suffering. When your mind is spinning, strip the situation down to what actually happened, not what you fear it means. You'll find that most chaos is imagined, not real. Clear facts create clear minds. Law 3. Accept reality. Without negotiation, the Stoics did not practice optimism. They practiced acceptance. Because arguing with reality is the fastest way to mental collapse. Life is not supposed to be fair. People are not supposed to be consistent. Plans are not supposed to work perfectly. Chaos intensifies when you say, this shouldn't be happening. The Stoic response is, it is happening. Now, what is the wise response? Acceptance is not weakness. It is alignment with truth. The moment you stop resisting reality, your mind stops burning energy on denial and redirects it toward solutions. Say it silently. This is reality. I move forward. Law 4. Shrink the time horizon. Seneca warned that we suffer more in imagination than in reality. Chaos feels unbearable because your mind races weeks, months, even years ahead. The Stoics lived inside a narrow window. Now, not today, not this week, this breath, this step, this task. When everything feels overwhelming, reduce your focus to the smallest possible unit of action. One email, one decision, one honest effort. Chaos dissolves when the future loses its grip. Type this if you're ready. I stay in the present. Law 5. Practice voluntary discomfort. This law sounds strange until you understand it. The Stoics intentionally practiced discomfort so chaos would never scare them. Cold, hunger, silence, simplicity. Why? Because when your mind learns that discomfort is survivable, fear loses its power. Chaos feeds on fragility. Stoicism builds resilience. When life becomes chaotic, your nervous system panics because it thinks you can't handle discomfort. Train it otherwise. Skip a comfort. Sit in silence. Walk without distraction. You don't need more control. You need more tolerance. Law 6. Detach from outcomes. Commit to action. Chaos paralyzes because you obsess over results you can't guarantee. The Stoics had a different rule. Control the effort. Release the outcome. You act with excellence, with discipline, with integrity. Then you let go. This frees your mind immediately because effort is always available. Outcomes are not. When your mind is clear, action becomes simple. And simple action cuts through chaos like a blade. Comment this if you understand it. I commit to effort, not outcomes. Law 7. Guard your inner dialogue. Epictetus said we are disturbed not by events, but by the conversation we have about them. Chaos speaks inside your head before it appears in your life. The Stoic law is vigilance. You watch your inner dialogue like a gatekeeper. When panic speaks, you challenge it. When fear exaggerates, you correct it. You do not let every thought become truth. A calm mind is not silent, it is disciplined. Law 8. Remember the impermanence of all things. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself daily, this too will pass. Chaos feels permanent when you forget the nature of life. Nothing stays, not pain, not confusion, not storms. This law is not passive, it is grounding. When you remember impermanence, urgency softens, panic loosens, perspective returns. The storm is real, but it is temporary. Say it with certainty. This will pass. Final truth. The Stoics didn't wait for life to become calm. They trained their minds to remain clear no matter how chaotic life became. You don't need perfect circumstances. You need inner order. And when the mind is ordered, chaos becomes manageable. Not because life obeys you, but because you no longer depend on it too. If this gave you clarity, like the video. If it gave you strength, share it. If you're ready to live this, subscribe. Seal it in the comments. My mind is calm. My path is clear. Your clarity begins now.